Okay, guys, welcome back to the reaction show. We got some freaking PlayStation 6 news here. This is everything we know so far about the PlayStation 6. And I don't even know the specs or anything about the PlayStation 6, so this is kind of interesting. I don't know. I haven't done any research on the PlayStation 6. I don't know anything about it. Like, what are the specs going to be? I don't even know. We're going to find out in this video, I guess. But this is PlayStation 6, everything we know so far. Let's get into it. Let's see what this is all about.
Hello everyone, it's Spawn Point and let's talk PlayStation 6.
PlayStation
I know
6,
it doesn't feel like the PS5 has hit its full potential yet, and here we are talking about the PS6. But I wanted to go over everything that we know so far, including the facts, the rumours and the features that I want to see included on the next console. But before we jump in, let me know what you're hoping the next PlayStation does, or your best guess when it will be released. Right, so firstly, I think we can all agree it's going to be called the PlayStation 6 or the PS6. Now, that's not actually been confirmed yet, but both Sony and AMD have called their next project Project Amethyst. But just like with the PS5 or any other new hardware, these are just project names and not the final product name. So we're going to call this the PS6. Now, over the last month or so, we have had some sneak peeks and early information about the next-gen console. And the first piece of info that we've got is from AMD and Sony that they are continuing their work together. This has been confirmed in a joint video between Mark Cerny and Jack Hewin where they go over these three areas: neural arrays, radiance cores and universal compression. It's a pretty technical video if you want to check it out, but essentially neural arrays let all of the compute units work together and share data rather than working on their own separately. Radiance cores is going to supercharge ray tracing, and universal compression is basically a system inside the GPU that shrinks the data so it uses less memory bandwidth. In the video, Mark confirms this will lead to lower power consumption, higher fidelity assets, and the best possible experience for gamers. Now, at the end of that video, Mark did say about bringing these technologies to a future console in a few years' time. Well, if we take the PS3, PS4, and PS5, these consoles released in 2006, 2013, and 2020.
Wow.
So, if Sony follows that same 7-year timeline, we will likely see the PS6 in 2027. And that's a fair guess to make, I would say. We've also seen leakers such as Kepler say late 2027. Although, again, this is just speculation.
There's no way.
For me, though, although I think 2027 is a realistic release window going by the previous consoles, I think it is way too early to get the next one. I mean, the PS5 had what felt like a slow start. For some of you, it took what, a year or maybe even more to get your hands on one due to stock issues.
It still feels like a new console.
Slow releasing at the start as well. So to think that in 2 years' time we could be getting the next-gen console, I'm just not ready for it. The PS5 still needs to stretch its legs at this point. Like, how many of you have a PS5 or a PS5 Pro and feel like the hardware is holding your games back? Or who's not even got a PS5 yet? Because if we look at some of the games that we've had over the last 5 years on the PS5, they have looked incredible, haven't they? We've had Spider-Man 2, Astro Bot, Death Stranding 2, and the more recent Ghost of Yotei. But I still don't feel like we've had enough new games like we had back on the PS2 and the PS4.
I gotta get Little Nightmares 3.
Still have great games, but most of the time I've been playing remastered and remakes on the PS5.
Oh, Last of Us. I played that recently.
Exclusive games. If I think about it now,
so
the next big one for the PS5 is Wolverine. That's in terms of exclusive games. That's going to be late 2026, so a long way off yet. But then don't forget, in 2026 we also have the biggest game of the decade and for this entire generation for the console, which is of course GTA 6. Now this is set to release in May 2026, so if this does go ahead, obviously that's going to be on the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, and not the PS6. Unless by some miracle we are all completely wrong and the PS6 is going to drop alongside GTA 6 next year.
That might actually happen though. That's happened before, right?
Huge curveball that none of us saw coming. Also, how many PS6 exclusive games could we expect to see announced before the console drops? I think it took years before we saw big games only available on the PS5, because even now, 5 years on, games are still releasing on the PS4 as well as the PS5. And that's because devs don't want to take a hit on sales and gamers don't want to upgrade if they can keep playing their new games on the PS4. Now, we don't have any confirmed specs for the next-gen PlayStation, but rumours suggest things like an AMD Zen 6 CPU, RDNA 5 GPU, GDDR7 memory, and support for 8K gaming. And we do kind of need to see a big jump from the PS5 Pro to warrant us all upgrading to a PS6. Will we see 8K at 120 FPS? Probably not. But I think we will see a huge leap in AI upscaling and ray tracing to bridge that gap between console and PC performance. I think we'd all be happy though with 4K graphics and games running at least 60 FPS to up to 120 FPS across the board. We don't want any more of those sub 60 FPS games. Now, there have also been rumours that the next gen console could be a digital only console. And I really hope this isn't true, because we need to have physical games supported.
What does the PlayStation 5
but
shoot?
seeing how
Is
the
it
PS5
4K
Pro
60
launched
frames?
without a disc drive, and you have to spend another £70 or $80 to add
120
one,
frames
would actually
needed.
surprise me. And it's a tough one, because I'm always pro physical, even though I buy most of my games digitally. But I like the option to be able to choose how I want to play. Also, being able to buy, sell and trade my games when I've finished with them is exactly what I want to be able to do. But then if you
That's
look
a
at
good
PC
point.
gaming, none of us think twice about buying that game on Steam. I mean, I don't even have a disc drive on my PC, and I doubt many of you do either. But there's something about consoles that we want to and expect to be able to play our library of games physically and digitally if we want to. And talking about the library of games, well, the PS6 has got to allow backwards compatibility. At the very least, it needs to allow us to play all of our PS5 and PS4 games, but can you imagine that they finally add in 100% backwards compatibility for the PS3 or PS2 games, where we can play every single one of our PlayStation games on the one
How
console?
cool would that
Wishful
be?
thinking, I
Oh
know,
my
but it would be great to
gosh.
see. But again, if the next console doesn't have a disc drive and it is a digital-only console, it would mean your entire library of physical games would be no more. Although I do imagine that the digital library would carry over without any issues.
Man.
For me though, this is my wish list for the PS6. I want to see full backwards compatibility for games and all PS5 accessories. We need the DualSense controllers, PSVR 2 and everything else to work on the PS6 while we wait for
We're
the
talking
PS6
about another
games to
video.
launch. It'll also help gamers with the upfront costs if they can keep some of their old accessories. And the fact that we can upgrade the storage on the PS5 with an M.2 drive is awesome. So again,
I
it
didn't
would
know
be
that.
ideal to have that on the PS6 again, preferably with a larger SSD drive to start with, but we can still have the option to expand on that if we want to. I also want the console itself to be smaller. I'd even take a slightly chunkier console if it meant it being
That's a
slightly
good point
shorter.
too, man.
We need a disc drive as well so we can play our old games and movies, and a larger and faster SSD so games can load faster, especially for those large open worlds. As for the price, well, the PS5 launched at £360 or $400, while the PS5 Pro launched at £700 and $700. So can we assume the PS6 will be similarly priced to the Pro? So that'd be around £700. Well, Kepler again on X has suggested it will be $600 at launch. Well, I think we can agree that no matter what price it sells at, it's still going to sell out and the scalpers will still get their hands on it. Hopefully though, next time around, Sony will be able to stock way more than demand so we can all grab one at retail. But with all that said, the facts, the rumours and the wish list for the PS6, I'm actually still really happy with the PS5. I'm not ready for next gen. I think if the 2027 launch window is real, I'm going to say it is just way too soon. We don't need new hardware. As much as bridging that PC gap would be nice, we need more games. The games we've got look great, like Ghost of Yotei or Death Stranding 2, but we've just not had enough of those games.
Can't wait for
over
Il
the
to
last
come
5
out. I
years.
want
Well,
Il.
I get it, we've got to keep moving forward, and I love new tech. But can we push the next console to 2029 or 2030? Damn, it sounds like we're living in some kind of sci-fi movie talking about these years. Anyway, that was a quick chat about the PS6 and my thoughts on it so far. Let me know what you think. Is 2027 too soon? Now drop your prediction down below in the comments.
It feels
for
like it is
PS6
actually.
in 2026 or 2027 in the comments, and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out this video next. Well, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and follow me everywhere. Until next time.
That's it. Okay. How cool would it be if you could play freaking backward compatibility with PlayStation 2, 3, 4, like all of them? Maybe not PlayStation 1, but like PlayStation 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like, how cool would that be if you just play all backwards compatibility games? That would be freaking sick, man. That would be like the whole collection. The whole collection of games. That would be freaking awesome. I would love that. That would be awesome as. Yeah, that would be so cool. It kind of doesn't feel, it kind of feels like, yeah, we don't need a PlayStation 6 just yet. It feels too soon. It does feel too soon. It does, actually. Feels like we haven't had it long enough. It actually does. It's funny as hell. When did the PlayStation 5 come out? Like seriously, when did it come out? I can't wait for Il. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for Il. I can't wait for Il. Il was the bam. When did it come out? Release date? Was it 2020, right? It was 2020. Yeah, 2020. I remember. How did I forget? It's been already 5 years, and it doesn't feel like it's been 5 years. I can't wait for Ill. I literally can't wait for Ill. Oh my gosh, Ill's gonna be the best. I can't wait for that game. I really can't wait for that game. I gotta get Little Nightmares 3. That's gonna be fun. I gotta get that game. Yeah. Been playing some Chronos. Chronos is a damn hard ass game, guys. Chronos is hard. Fun game, but so hard, so you gotta like strategize it. It's a strategy game. You gotta strategize everything. And ammunition is like very low and it's tough, guys. It's a very hard game. It's so funny. Even the new Aliens game is hard too, man. Aliens come like every 5 or 10 minutes and you just gotta figure out what to do. But there's limited ammo. So how are you supposed to beat the game? It's crazy. Unless you know how to do it, unless you know it off by heart, you know what to do. It's like, it's so hard. It's crazy. That's hard. But yeah, how cool would it be if you could play backwards compatibility with all the PlayStation consoles? Oh my gosh. Imagine they did that with every PlayStation thing. So like PSP, PSP Vista, PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like everything was like under one umbrella and you could just, it was all compatible. Wow, that would be like the shite, man. That'd be the shite right there. Ugh. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about this PlayStation 6 stuff. Let me know. Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. But it's cool. It's really cool. Like, what does PlayStation 5 shoot? It's 4K 60, right? It's not 4K 120 frames. It's 4K 60, right? It is. It doesn't shoot 120, does it? I don't think so. But that would be cool if we get like 8K 60. Imagine 8K 60. Oh my gosh, you guys! Wow, we need a high definition TV, 8K TV. That's crazy. Anyway, leave your thoughts down in the comments below, you guys. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like, subscribe, make sure your notification bell is on, and I'll see you guys in my next reaction video. All right. See you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. That was PlayStation 6. Coming next year. I can't believe it. I honestly can't believe it. It's coming next year. That's crazy.